right, let's go. That shit is so loud. I don't know if it was loud for you guys, but it was so loud for me.
You've seen the videos of brazen smash and grabs like these, often carried out in broad daylight.
It's an absolute threat.
A Chicago area Louis Vuitton raided by 14 hooded suspects, making off with over $100,000.
No, not Louis Vuitton. How will they ever recover?
Dollars worth of luxury items. A flash mob style heist at an Oakland area Nordstrom. This New York jewelry store, windows smashed in with hammers. Federal authorities and retailers are now sounding the alarm.
I'm sorry, but this is, okay. I don't know if this is
Take your
problematic.
medication, chat, love, y'all, and Earth, and everyone.
Let's talk about something. Let's really quickly. I feel like there are things that are bad, and then there are things that are bad, but they're funny. And then there are things that are just funny. So like things that are bad. Mitch McConnell. Things that are bad and funny. Alex Jones. Things that are funny. Me banning a shitter in chat. Okay? This is definite. This is definitely in the funny category. There is something that my brain thinks is so funny about just taking a shopping cart, filling it with expensive stuff, and then walking out the front door. I don't know why my brain sees this and I want to laugh because it's so absurd. Like you're not even trying to like hide that you're stealing at all. You're just like, I'm just going to take everything and I'm just going to walk out.
Alarm about the growing danger of organized retail crime that is sweeping the country.
The only thing that's organized about this is like, we're at the intro. Okay, well, here we go. The only thing that was organized about this was like the way that they stacked these boxes. This shit was pretty organized. I'm not gonna lie. They Tetris this pretty well. Same thing with the other guy. Pretty organized stuff. That's it. That's the only thing that's organized here. It's just that's not sweeping the country. This is so. Oh my god. And this is such classic fear-mongering. Okay, in my experience. And maybe I'm wrong about this. Maybe it's been a while since I've watched like some like decent CNN coverage or something. It feels like CNN and like MSNBC and those are very like liberal, like obviously very libby news stations. And their goal is to make their viewers as comfortable as possible, right? Because they appeal to like upper middle class like libs, right? Just to basically let them know like, hey, things are getting better. You know, just in case you wanted to know what was happening here, this is what's happening, but don't worry about it. And then Fox is like just a fear-mongering station. It's like the Browns are coming for us. China is trying to destroy us. The Europeans are being Europeans. Canada's infecting us. Like every single, like they're bringing the drugs in and the cartels and all of the pedophiles or whatever. They just do that all the time. It is insane to me that the Young Turks is engaging in this behavior now. The danger of organized retail crime that is sweeping the country. This looks like it belongs in a fucking Fox script. That's crazy.
Organized retail crime that is sweeping the country.
Yeah, not the Home Depot, dude. What are we going to do? Home Depot lost a little bit of money.
For a while now.
I'm not shitting on you, chatter, to be very clear. Wait, hold up. Is this not satirical? You sweet summer child. You sweet summer child. Oh. It's not satirical. All right. Back to the video.
I've been attempting to slowly ease the political left into admitting and responding to the undeniable truth on the ground in major US cities. Organized retail theft is harming many communities, and we need to be real about it. For one, I don't find it politically advantageous to deny what everyone can witness for themselves. But more importantly, the left loses credibility when its prominent voices claim they want to build a better society for ordinary people while actively making unmerited justifications for crap that actually makes life worse. A prime example of the madness is San Francisco, where organized retail theft has gotten so bad that half the stores in its downtown area have shuttered. A recent CNN report revealed San Francisco's dysfunction with a local Walgreens hit with 3 thefts in just 30 minutes.
Our Kyung Law visited one.
Dude, what are we gonna do for Walgreens? Can somebody think about Walgreens? Someone please think about Walgreens. How much money does Walgreens, what is their net revenue? What's their profits? Well, I want to know what their profits are. Walgreens. Their revenue is $35 billion per quarter from Walgreens. Walgreens just booked $118 million profit for the quarter. Someone please think of Walgreens. Someone please think of the Walgreens. Please.
Walgreens that's hit by shoplifters more than a dozen times a day. It happened 3 times while she was inside.
In the 30 minutes we were at this Walgreens, we watched 3 people, including this man, steal. Did that guy pay? Did that guy pay?
I'm sorry. This is hilarious to me. This is so funny. It's so funny. God, and like the fucking lib energy. This has the same energy as like asking the teacher if she collected homework. Did that guy pay? Bro, oh my God. Hall monitor energy like crazy, dude.
He didn't pay?
Now that store has been dubbed the most robbed Walgreens in the country. And I'm sure local political leaders must be super proud to foster the kind of environment necessary to win that honor. I'll get to more on that in just a minute. But first, I want to get to the cover story that the left has fully bought into. That these thieves are desperate. That they're living in poverty and have no choice but to steal because they need to feed their families. Now, first off, the assumption that crimes must be committed by the poor is, pretty damn defamatory toward disadvantaged individuals. Secondly, that claim is, without merit. But let's compare economic.
God, Anna, oh my God, this is so hard to watch. Poor people are shoplifting and rich people are stealing millions of our tax-paying dollars via subsidies and tax loopholes. I care about one of these a lot because it's millions and billions of dollars, and I really don't care about the other one. I just really don't. And wages. That's not even talking about wage theft. This is literally not even talking about wage theft. I'm actually sad at IRL. I've been watching her for 20 years. It's so sad. It's like no one is saying that poor people are inherently evil or bad and want to steal. It's that people are just saying, hey, if you can't make ends meet and you're tired of working the fucking fast food drive-through that you work at where customers can literally like assault you and just drive off and you can't do anything, and you're tired of getting paid garbage and being treated like trash under your boss, yeah, I'm not surprised that you start making a living off of stealing stuff, to be quite frank. Okay? I'm sorry. Maybe we should respect our workers more, pay them more, give them more comfortable working conditions, and maybe, I don't know, people will commit less crimes. It's almost like we have a lot of research on this and it's totally correct. And when you meet people's, what is it called? The Maslow hierarchy of needs. People's basic needs, basically, like food, shelter, some amount of like, some decent amount of like recreation time. Like you're not constantly thinking about work or constantly at work. Material conditions. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. The sum total of retail theft last year was around $50 billion, less than Walmart's total gross annual income in the same year. One company. It's disingenuous bullshit. Yeah, it is. It's bullshit. It's complete bullshit. It's almost like almost like if we say we don't have research or going on. Okay, we'll get back to the video.
Rough patches and how they impacted crime. Let's look at the data. take a look at this pretty incredible chart using data from the John Jay College of Criminal Justice on crimes committed in New York City between 2006 and 2022.
It's almost like something very funny happened in 2020. Now, if only I could remember what there was must have been a big major event that happened at 2020, but it's on the tip of my tongue and I just can't remember what's going on. Oh yeah, there was a pandemic where millions of people died. Millions of people lost their jobs. And then millions of people realized, I don't want to fucking work for this shithole company. Like, there were a lot of instances of people who went from their like normal jobs of like working wherever they work with their petty tyrant boss, and then obviously being like laid off because of COVID, because their job wasn't necessary or whatever. It wasn't a, what's the term for it? Something specific worker. Essential worker. Like if you're not an essential worker, okay, you get fired. You get unemployment checks, and then you have free time for like the first time in your life. The number of people I spoke to who had been like, they're basically at the brink every single week. And then when COVID came around and they were collecting like unemployment checks, they were like, I forgot what it's like to not be stressed all the time. This is like the first week in a long time that like I have enjoyed life again. I'm going to be honest. I don't blame those people for saying, fuck going back to this shithole workplace. Why would I ever go back to the workplace that fucking fired me, for starters? And why would I ever deal with that shit again? I don't want to deal with that. Best time in 8 years for me. It exposed me to like a lot of higher paying jobs based outside of my dog shit town. So like, yeah, I'm sorry. Maybe if jobs weren't so shit and you weren't allowed to just like, the customer is always right everything, then like, maybe people wouldn't mind working if they weren't being treated like garbage. It blows my mind, by the way, that there are people that go and treat service staff like human garbage. And they see nothing wrong with that. Like, it blows my mind to see people go to like a McDonald's. You are frequenting this establishment and then shit on the workers that are there. It's like, that's a person, dog. That's a human being behind there. Like, they have feelings. They have things that stress them out. They've had bad days. Like, and you're going to fucking add to that shit? Fuck you. Anyways, my mom quit Popeyes after 17 years and she's so much happier now. Aww. So happy for you. Yeah, big salute to all food service chatters that have to deal with that shit. Especially if people touching your food. Yeah, it's especially the people who are rude to the people who are about to touch their food. It's like, are you dumb? Are you silly? Someone was being a dick when I was working cash. I told them I make minimum wage and they said that's not the right attitude. Fuck off, dude. Oh my God. You've read the articles about like history of service staff and why they exist to make the middle class feel like they're part of the upper class, right? Yeah, I mean, chat, can we all agree the idea, I was thinking about it the other day like crazy. The idea of going into a restaurant and having a server. It's kind of weird. Hey, can I get another water? Oh, hey, can I get this? Hey, can I get this? You're just like having like a miniature servant to run around for you. It's like, I get why it exists, but it's so weird. It's so weird. Anyways, okay, back to the video.
Now you'll notice that there isn't a notable spike in major commercial retail crimes during or immediately after the 2008 economic collapse. In other words, the economic desperation that Americans were experiencing during the last Great Recession did not translate to a significant uptick in retail crime. But the data on this chart makes clear that there was a massive spike in retail crime during the COVID pandemic. And perhaps, just perhaps, factors other than poverty and desperation account for it. Now look, to be fair, the one man that we saw in the earlier CNN video could potentially fall into the category of a lone thief who stole a little something because he was hungry. I don't know, but I'm not really interested in petty crimes. The real problem is the ongoing and unmitigated organized crime that we're all paying the price for. The issue has now become so out of control that the federal government is getting involved. Federal authorities now warn it's become an absolute threat to public safety and public health, declaring that violent gangs, dangerous international crime syndicates, and even groups with suspected ties to terrorism are increasingly dabbling in organized retail crime across the United States.
Just one quick question. Are you Garfield, are you / joking or are you / serious?
I read the 2022 National Retail Security Survey cited by that video, and the average dollar amount of theft nationwide in 2021 was 1.4% of total sales, the same as in 2018 and 2016.
You could replace this logo with Fox News, and I would assume that that was correct. Like, replace all the branding with Fox News branding, and this literally looks like it belongs on Fox News. I mean, it was on, I guess, ABC News, dude. Like, this is insane. This is crazy fear-mongering. It's become a threat to public safety and health. It's gangs and crime syndicates and just ties to terrorism. Are you fucking kidding me? What is this fear-mongering? Are you serious right now?
Crime across the United States. Here's more on that.
In April, 3 people were arrested in connection with an organized retail crime operation that allegedly targeted California Home Depots. Authorities recovering $75,000 worth of stolen goods. And Homeland Security officials say the organizations have suspected ties to drug trafficking and terrorism financing.
They're crime syndicates that could be tied to local gang networks that maybe have established networks either from the Chilean or Colombian threats or Romanian crews coming in from Eastern European that are comfortable in certain cities.
According to
I'm sorry, we have to go back.
Have established networks either from the Chilean or Colombian threats or Romanian crews coming in from Eastern European that are comfortable in certain cities.
My favorite thing about this is that he's literally just lying. He's like, we've recovered $75,000 of stolen goods from the Home Depot. God bless Home Depot. And we're suspecting, we don't really have any evidence, but we're suspecting that they're tied to some drug organization in potentially Chilean territories or maybe even Romanian or Eastern European. It's like, these are very different regions, and we're just, what is going on? What is going on? What is going on?
According to the company, this one crew robbed various stores more than 20 times, allegedly stealing a total of $135,000 in merchandise.
Now, Homeland Security officials are also concerned about other groups, including the Aryan Brotherhood and crime rings from Eastern Europe and South America, using organized retail theft to raise funds for their criminal organizations. Raul Aguilar, who serves or oversees international organized crime cases for Homeland Security, says there are definitely ties between certain organized retail thieves and drug trafficking organizations, including some of the cartels identified by the United States government as a global threat. In addition,
dude, cartels rake in millions of fucking dollars. Because, drugs. $75,000 worth of merchandise is not enough to launder that money. And also, why would shoplifting be the thing to fund the drug trading? The drug trading makes enough money as is. What the fuck are we talking about?
PSSD, Anna Isatori, pass it on.
Cartels are in the billions. You're actually probably right. It actually probably is in the billions. This is so stupid.
Aguilar also says that some of these networks are tied
also,
to
according to
the
survey,
terrorist
retail
finance.
loses more money from employee theft and not keeping track of their own shit properly than from all external theft.
Yep. So let's go back to this part.
Threat. In addition, Aguilar also says that some of these networks are tied to the terrorist financing networks around the world. Now, a lot of these thieves are repeat offenders who are emboldened enough to casually steal in broad daylight.
Good. Good. Honestly, if everybody started stealing from their local Walmart or their local Walgreens or whatever, maybe they would finally start like not getting profitable, not being profitable. Okay? Maybe if these companies start operating at a loss and we aren't paying for shit anymore, maybe that would be actually based. I don't know. You just can't get me to feel bad for the corporations. I'm sorry.
Another alleged repeat offender, this Delaware woman, Ayanna Duramis, who authorities say has been on an organized retail crime spree for years. In February, she was caught on surveillance, allegedly stealing 2 Nespresso machines worth nearly $2,000 from a New Jersey Bed Bath & Beyond. And then here she is again at a nearby Home Depot a week later, raising a hammer at a Home Depot employee who tried to stop her.
Now, all of this criminal activity comes at a cost to all of us, some of us.
She said, try me. Try me. Just let me go. I know you're getting paid not enough to do this.
The most economically vulnerable pay a bigger price. For instance,
so yeah, how is that part of organized crime? It's just a lady who's making money stealing. Like, she's in the cartel, guys. She's in the cartel and she's talking to the Chileans and the Romanians, okay? For the drug trading and the terrorism. I need to hit as many buzzwords as possible, guys.
A Homeland Security investigations report issued last year said estimates regarding organized retail crime found the average American family will pay more than $500 annually in additional costs due to the impact.
You know what else we're paying for? Fucking every single billionaire on the fucking planet. Okay? You are losing. This is so stupid. $500 annually. You are literally losing tens of thousands of dollars every year because your labor is being exploited, and you want me to care about $500? Like, how many people here have work jobs where you're getting paid like $30,000 a year or like $40,000 a year? And you take a look at the work that you're doing and you're like, I'm making this company like $500,000 every year. Like, maybe you produce parts that are worth way more than $10 an hour. And you're just like, this is fucked up. That like, they're just stealing this money from me. Like, I am working and I'm just accepting this dog shit wage. Average US taxpayer pays something like $4,000 a year into corporate subsidies alone. Puggers! Every customer was like $200 plus.
Poor will corporations D&M cry.
$500 less than $2 a day. Yeah, it's fucking stupid. There's someone thinking the corporations. Oh no. Get fired for trying to unionize? Well, fuck you then, shit company. Yeah. It's just bullshit. It's just so bullshit, dude. Like, fuck off, dude.
That's not a small amount of money for the nearly half of American households who reported that they could not afford a $400 emergency.
Well, maybe we should do something about the fact that rent is too expensive to afford. Maybe we should do something about the fact that people are getting paid garbage and the people that we have in Congress refuse to raise the minimum wage. Like, fuck you, dude. What the fuck?
And that was data from the Federal Reserve prior to the pandemic and prior to the inflation driving up living costs even more today. Since stores are closing in response to the uptick in organized retail theft, workers are losing their jobs. Walgreens alone has shut down 5 stores in San Francisco due to theft since
I love this stock footage. Guy with crowbar robbing a store.
the epidemic began. Now keep in mind that those on a fixed income now have to spend more of their resources to travel even further in order to purchase groceries and other household needs. But those added financial costs we all have to pay to accommodate organized criminals is nothing compared to what some retail workers are dealing with as they try to earn an honest living.
Coordinated groups are targeting stores, millions of dollars worth of goods. Retailers say they're growing more violent, putting shoppers and workers at risk, sometimes with tragic consequences.
What goes through your mind when you realize that your dad was essentially killed over 3 power washers?
You can't imagine that any piece of equipment in Home Depot is worth a life.
When you saw the video of what happened to your dad, what was going through your mind?
Wish it would have been me.
That was a bad one. Yeah. I mean, I agree. That guy, so to be clear, I have no problem with people who shoplift. Maybe don't shove like an old guy to the ground. You know, that guy was a piece of shit for that. He was a piece of shit for that. Not for stealing. I don't give a fuck about the stealing. I really don't give a fuck about the fucking Home Depot profit margins. But the other guy, I care a lot about other workers. You know what I mean? But yeah, this brings up an interesting question, chat. Why are 82-year-olds working? It reminds me a lot of this heartwarming story about the older woman the 72-year-old woman who was delivering pizzas and she fell. And they're like, heartwarming story will bring a tear to your eye. And it's just like someone who is clearly not fit for the workforce is being forced to work. This video, I'm sure you guys remember it well. What is this? Okay. What is it? This video not related to this? Sorry, this video is not related to this. Why did I expect this from the New York Post? My bad. The New York Post videos suck. It's not related to the video at all. Or the headline at all. Family raises $264K for Domino's driver who fell while delivering pizza. A delivery who put her body on the line for pizza has been rewarded with a generous $264,000 tip. They basically put a GoFundMe. And I'll show you guys the video in a second.
The line between The Onion and real news articles is like 1mm thin at this point.
It is. It's literally a real news station, and Onion, it is 1 millimeter thin. Squilliam, thank you for the 2 months. Natalie, thank you so much for the 2 months. And I think I missed one other person. I don't know if I said thank you, but thank you, Fellini. What was I talking about? People G. Some older people work to have something to do. When older people stay stagnant, they usually die early. Okay. I don't know why you're playing defense for the corporations. Every single instance that I've seen so far of someone getting injured on the job who's like 70 years old is doing a physically stressful job that isn't fulfilling. Okay. And they get injured while they're working. Okay. Older people want to work if their work is satisfying. So like, for example, I have had professors who work in law and I've had like 70-year-old professors and they are sharp as a tack because they love their work. They love the legal system. They love the law. They love to talk about it. They love to work on it, which makes sense, right? It's very stimulating work. And it's like, it's what you want to do, right? They're brain broken debate perverts. Yeah. That was me at the 30 years old at the Trader Joe's. It sucked. I was depressed and I let a pallet fall on me and I broke my neck. Are you okay? Oh, you're back. You're back. I thought I said, I don't know why I read neck. Walmart greeters are the backbone of the economy. We need every old person standing by the door until they're 85. Yeah, it's fucking stupid. There are no old people that are dreaming about working at Home Depot at fucking 80. That's not happening. I've heard of old people who are like, well, I want to keep showing up to like the office, you know? That makes sense. Because it's like you're going there because that's like what you're so used to. And like those are your friends at the office. And it's like a nice routine. Makes you feel like you're being productive. That makes sense. I get that. There are no old people that want to be delivering pizzas at fucking 80. Okay? That's not a thing. And especially in these cases, in some of these cases, it's definitely not a thing. Let's see. I'm trying to find the thing. 1 second.
12 months and minimal brain rot so far. You are awesome.
Oh, Pa, Garganimal, thank you for the 12 months. So I'm trying to find like the specific story, but here, I'll put the video on, but I'm trying to find the very specific story where this worker literally says,
the video is hard.
Shut the fuck up. She literally says that she tried to retire, and then after a year of retirement from Domino's, she realized she doesn't have enough money to retire. And so she's back to working. This is like this is acceptable. This is fucking acceptable behavior from America. These people shouldn't be working, dude. What the fuck? Like, dude, oh, so heartwarming story. She got a GoFundMe. To be clear, I'm not making fun of any of the people in this story. I'm making fun of the news organizations that cover this shit, and they're like, it's so heartwarming. Fuck off. It's not heartwarming to see a 72-year-old fall over and then be stressed. And this video doesn't even show it. But like, first of all, she's apologizing about the pizza. So she fell over and she's like, I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry about everything. I'm really sorry. It's like, she's more concerned about the fact that she's going to get fired, or that the person inside that house is going to be a fucking Karen, than she is about her own health. Like, dude, are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? Okay. Anyways, I have a lot of opinions about companies, okay? As you guys can see.
Worker was 82-year-old Gary Razor, a retiree working at the Home Depot in Hillsborough, North Carolina. He sadly died after being shoved to the ground by an alleged thief, who was then arrested, luckily, on a murder charge. The case against him is still pending. Now, there are other examples, like the following. At a Home Depot in Pleasanton, California in April, Blake Mose, a 26-year-old employee set to be married in August, was fatally shot after he tried to stop a suspected thief. 2 people have been arrested on murder charges in that case. Now, these 2 victims aren't even a fraction of the other countless workers who have been assaulted as these thefts take place. Now, if you're LARPing as a socialist who pretends to value labor, maybe your act would be more believable if you showed just an ounce of concern for the workers. But I don't know, that must be a bourgeois concern.
You're so fucking... When did Anna become the most disingenuous motherfucker on the planet? You can be pro shoplifting, like steal whatever the fuck you want. I don't give a fuck about these corporations. And also recognize, hey, don't hurt the workers that are just doing their job. And if you do physically assault workers, I don't like you. I think you're a piece of shit, but I don't think you're a piece of shit for shoplifting. I think you're a piece of shit for assaulting a worker. Okay? You can take that stance. You can have a nuanced position, Anna. I promise you. You don't have to do this propaganda where either you're pro shoplifting completely or you're completely anti shoplifting. You can recognize that some of these people are pieces of shit, but not all of them. Literally every fucking video, she has to either punch left or talk about how mad people get at her. It's unbearable. It's so unbearable, dude. For real. This is Anna's job application to the Daily Wire.
Of mine. So what now? What are the possible solutions? The National Retail Federation wants the federal government to enforce more regulations toward online sellers like Amazon, eBay, Craigslist, and Facebook Marketplace. These are places where the thieves sell the stolen goods, to which the federal government has taken some action on. For instance, the newly passed INFORM Act now requires online retailers to verify certain information about their vendors and sellers in order to combat the sale of stolen goods. Online marketplaces that do not comply with this law could face more than $50,000 in fines for each violation. But retailers argue that this is not enough and would like Congress to allocate funds for a federal task force targeting organized retail crime. I'm not really sure if that's necessary. There are other proposals, though, in Congress as well. The Combating Organized Retail Crime Act, which would establish a coordinated
Like, here's the thing. You can use all these words. You can hit every single buzzword. You can say whatever. You can give the 2 anecdotes of bad things that have happened. You can do all of these things, Anna. But that doesn't change the fact that the money being stolen, like the merchandise that's being stolen from these companies, is significantly less than the fucking wage theft that is occurring in these companies. People are literally just stealing back their wages that they weren't getting paid. Like, it's like all of these corporations account for losing certain things. They literally account for it. They have shrinkage every single quarter. They estimate, or year, they estimate the shrinkage. And they're like, we anticipate to lose like 2%, 2.5% of merchandise this year due to stealing or like employee theft or just damaged product goods. That's probably, and we're just going to eat that as like an expense cost. No big deal. It's just so it's so stupid to care about this. Shrinkage from throwing away perfectly good products is higher than shrinkage from theft. So when I found out that like name brands and like luxury brand goods, they literally throw out perfectly good products straight into the dumpster, more frequently into the incinerator, because they don't want people getting their product for cheaper, because then it'll lower their market value. Because if a poor is seen wearing like a Coach bag, ew, the brand has to be only for rich people. But the only thing worse than that is the fucking food. Like food that is perfectly good that they just dump into trash cans. Like food that's like doesn't expire until like another few days. Just into the trash. It's like people literally, it's gotten so bad. There are entire TikTok channels dedicated to dumpster diving in like the Whole Foods parking lot. Just like going at the end of like the shift and just getting all the food. And anything that's actually bad, they throw it in, they throw it out or whatever. And then the food that's still perfectly good loaves of bread, perfectly good pita, perfectly good cookies. All of it is still very edible. Into the trash. Into the trash. And then these are the 2 worst things that I've seen. To be clear, for anyone who's I'm talking about the dumpster diving, all the food is still in the packaging. There are 2 things that companies do to prevent people from dumpster diving. Food. That's the level we're at, okay? Companies are upset that people are dumpster diving their food. Sometimes they lock the dumpsters, and other times they pour bleach on all of the food. You couldn't make someone more evil